Our security in Benghazi included a unit of host government security forces, as well as a local guard force of the kind that we rely on in many places around the world. In advance of September 11th, as is done every year, we did an evaluation on threat streams. And the Office of the Director of National Intelligence has said we had no actionable intelligence that an attack on our post in Benghazi was planned or imminent.
Well, there you go.
Well, days after the attack on the U.S. consulate in Libya, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton there defending the level of security. But our next guest is not so sure.
Congressman Jason Chaffetz and members of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform claim that multiple pleas for more protection were denied, and that there were a dozen threats to the consulate months prior to this horrific attack that took the lives of 4 people, including our ambassador there. Now the committee is demanding answers from Secretary Clinton. Here with more is our guest, Congressman Jason Chaffetz. Congressman, welcome. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
What do you want to know from Hillary Clinton?
Well, if you look at the security apparatus that was there in place, they were begging, asking for more assets. Not only did they not get those assets, they took the security profile and they reduced it. Now, in the 6-month run-up, if you look at Benghazi, which is about 2 hours to the east of Libya, we had a consulate there. That's sovereign U.S. territory. In the 6 months prior to that, the British embassy, which is literally kitty-corner within the block, the British ambassador had 2 assassination attempts. You also had 2 bombs placed on that consulate facility. One of those blew a hole in the side of the wall that was big enough that, according to one report, 40 people could run through. So you had 2 bombings at our consulate in the run-up, and you had very direct threats to Ambassador Stevens, and they diminished the security profile. It doesn't add up with what Secretary Clinton said.
I understand you allege 13 incidents. Meanwhile, she says she's going to answer you today. Do you expect, as many people in the political who know the politics of this to be a delay of game until after November?
Well, she said that this week they would announce a panel, a group of people that would investigate this and then come back to us, the latter part of November after the election. There are clear signs that immediately there are security concerns in Libya and other embassies around the world, and what they were doing is diminishing the security in the name of normalizing relations. I'm worried that they were making political decisions instead of letting security dictate the results.
Congressman, the administration said right off the bat that Chris Stevens, the ambassador there, was not the target of this attack. Do you have any reason to believe that he was?
We have some direct reports that, for instance, Ambassador Stevens liked to go running, and there were Facebook posts with his running route, his picture, and people advocating that he be killed on that route. In fact, he had to stop running. So, no, there were very direct results, attacks on Western targets. There were kidnappings. The staff there in Benghazi, their family was told to quit their job because there was going to be an attack.
Gotcha.
Clearly, there is a whole host of evidence that leads you to believe that there was going to be an attack.
Congressman Chaffetz, thanks so much. We'll follow up with you again. Back in 2 minutes here on Fox and Friends.